Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm Chris of krisiscrafty, and today we are going to be doing something really special to me. My friend over on Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter, somenerdystitches, has come out with a pattern that is adorable. I actually pattern tested it for her, and it's a Chibi Bear. I'm going to show you my pattern test result because I do not really do amigurumi. And Some Nerdy Stitches is a very talented crocheter. She also knits, but she's very good at making these adorable amigurumi pieces. She made one that is the amigurumi version of her dog. She's been commissioned to do another dog, bulldog actually, and it was so good. She also did a Godzilla piece, and you know what, I'm gonna link her down below because you should check her out because she's awesome. So about me and amigurumi, it's kind of trying to peek up here. I don't do it. I don't do amigurumi. I've tried a total of 4 times. The first time I did amigurumi, it was a little egg. And the little egg, it was an egg. It was a little misshapen, and especially due to the color choice of yarn I used, it was more like a hacky sack than a egg. But then I moved on to my next project, which was a little polar bear. You can see a picture of it on my Instagram. It was a Christmas present for my best friend who loves polar bears. And because of how difficult it is to sew a head on a body, I made it a little scarf and a little hat. It definitely looks not at all like the picture, and honestly the yarn was the worst to use, but I didn't give up. Try number 3 was actually this pattern test, and it was my first time attempting to use blanket yarn as a tool for amigurumi, and you could see a picture of this over on my Instagram, but here it is. My third ever amigurumi piece, its little tail, and yeah, made out of blanket yarn. Very first time making it out of blanket yarn. I'm very proud of the body. I think the body is amazing. So today, in honor of my friend Some Nerdy Stitches, I am making a mini one because the cool thing about her pattern is that it does say that you can use blanket yarn or any worsted weight and to create kind of whatever size you want to make. Without further ado though, let's just get right into it, okay?
Right, so this pattern, made again by Some Nerdy Stitches, and I will plug her name wherever I can, was really beginner friendly, actually. And when I mean beginner friendly, I mean that it was easy to read, it was easy to follow, the stitches were not overly complicated by any means. Most of amigurumi is single crochet, and even though single crochet is probably the easiest stitch ever, it doesn't make amigurumi any easier. Other than single crochet, the other stitches used in this pattern are your basic, slip stitch, your magic circle, which is how you start all the pieces. You do some sewing to join everything together. So there really isn't anything that somebody with a basic level of understanding of when it comes to crochet can do. Like I said, am very new to amigurumi. This is my 4th piece. when it comes to crochet, I am just as experienced in a more general sense. And my absolute biggest problem with crochet is, one, I don't use stitch markers, and two, I always forget the count I'm on, whether it's the number of stitches I'm on or the row I'm on. And really, those are definitely the problem of the individual. So my biggest recommendations when using this pattern, or any pattern, use your stitch markers. Count. Have a sheet of paper nearby that you can mark up so you know which row you're on, so you know which stitch you're on, because it can make or break most of your projects, to be honest. I probably have spent more time frogging a project than I have actually done completing one. And I frogged this project. In the original pattern test, I redid the legs. I actually have an extra leg just lying on my desk here. I frogged the body a few times. I don't even think that my completed plush bear, the large one, is actually correct. I think I added stitches and then I just went with it because I didn't want to figure out where my problem was. Which, again, it's the user. Other than that, there's really not a lot to say. But I did mention earlier a quote unquote difficult part. And really, that's the joining of the legs. See, my friend Some Nerdy Stitches, she hates sewing amigurumi together. It is the bane of her existence. Although there has been a few pieces where it is not as annoying for her as others. And she has said, oh, sewing this part together wasn't so bad. Her very first pattern was actually a amigurumi version of one of her dogs. It's Moo. It's so cute and fluffy, and she's made a mega Lord Moo where she used one of those extra large crochet hooks that you really don't know what to do with. And that pattern she specifically made so that you wouldn't have to sew anything together. This Chibi Bear, like, I'm not plugging this and singing its praises just because it's my friend. She has done an amazing thing and took an amazing leap, and I'm so incredibly proud of her. Because it's tough to put yourself out there in any capacity. And it's tough to put out your creations, especially things that you worked really hard on, that you're worried that people are just absolutely gonna hate. And I mean, she worked really hard on this pattern. She actually got people to test the pattern, which was new for her, because it's only her second pattern, and it's her first official paid pattern. The Moo pattern is free on her Ko-fi, and this pattern is available on her Etsy. Again, all links to all the things down below. As you can see during this sort of cut down process, because obviously I want you to buy the pattern, not, follow what I'm doing and make it for free. It's a good pattern. It's simple, it's to the point, it has pictures, it has a link. Actually, that's what I forgot, to continue on to the difficult part. It's joining the legs together. Because when you read it initially, and maybe this won't happen to you, but for me, when I read it initially, I was like, what? Where do I put this? This doesn't make sense. She does include a link to a YouTube tutorial that she found while making this pattern, because she, like, you can't see me, but I'm making like mind-blowing emotes right now with my hands. But while she was making this pattern, she literally sat there thinking, oh, there has to be an easy way to do this. There has to be an easy way to get these legs on there, maybe with less sewing. And she looked and she found it. So that'll be included in the pattern itself as a link. And she has graciously included all of her pattern testers on the pattern and the links to their Instagrams. So I really do hope that you all check out this pattern. I realize that in some of this footage, it does look like I'm having extreme difficulty doing this. But I want to emphasize the fact that it is beginner friendly, and any problems I'm having, it's because I am not skilled in crochet. I had to do this over the course of multiple days, as you might be able to tell with the clothes changes, the wardrobe changes, because I do get cramps in my left hand due to the insane amount of intensity that I decide to have when I'm crocheting, and the awkward like claw hand. Haven't figured out a better way to do that yet, so if you have any tips, let me know. But I hope you're ready to see the final bear, because I'm about to show you.
Are you ready for the final review? Do 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 do. Look it! Isn't it adorable? I wanted to make a unicorn bear, and I gave it a little flower. I made a second flower to put on its head, but I didn't realize how big it would be, so I thought it might look like too much. So I just left the one. And this was using Red Heart Super Saver worsted yarn. I think this was actually that Joann's brand. What is it called? Big Twist yarn, worsted still. And then the unicorn yarn was actually Lion Brand Basic Stitch. I love the cool effect that it gave. It's their anti-pilling yarn, still medium 4. And this color is actually called Critter Craze, which I think is adorable. I used a 3.5mm hook to do the stitching because everyone says use a smaller, I mean you could use whichever hook you want, but smaller hook to make something like this. Thank you all so much for watching. The link to the pattern will be down below in the description, as well as some Nerdy Stitches social medias, and I will be selling this particular bear, Unibear, over on my Etsy shop, so be on the lookout for that. The link to my Etsy shop will also be in the description below. And this cute little Unibear, one of a kind, because it's literally the only one that I'm making. I mean, I might make it again, probably with different flowers, but it'll be the only one that looks like this. So it's one of a kind and very, very special. Thank you so much, Some Nerdy Stitches, for letting me pattern test and letting me make this video. I hope that you all enjoyed watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!